Hi, I'm Kass and this is Honey.
And we're regular Canadians enjoying weed. And we're here with Chef Cody of the Wellness Soldier.
Yeah! Thank you for having me!
A real life celebrity.
Cheers to the Moose Cops.
Who's been on Bong Appetit.
Cheers to the Moose Cops. Yay.
Regular Canadians here. And
So
now,
Canadian, just patriotism everywhere. Like, you're never going to forget where we're located.
are you from Victoria originally?
I was born in Ottawa, but I moved to Souk in '96. And then so that was my grade 9, and then I graduated there. So I pretty much say I grew up here, because that's where I grew up. But I'm from Ottawa. And then we just moved back, actually, a couple of years ago from living in Ottawa for 10 years. Yeah.
Okay. Did you come back to be like a cannabis chef?
No, I came back to get the fuck away from snow.
Yes.
Support that.
Definitely support that. I look, when I see the winter on TV, I'm just like, I just don't even know how people live there voluntarily.
We did 10 years. We did 10 years there. It was crazy. Well, because when I got out of the military, obviously, I was out of the military, so I was like, well, now what the fuck am I going to do?
Wow. Well, tell us about the military. Tell us about being in the military. When did you join?
I joined fresh out of high school. I joined military fresh out of high school, and my mom was in the military. That's kind of I got a military family.
Yeah.
And my mom was in the military, and it was getting close to graduation, and we were driving into town one day, and it was kind of one of those, fuck, what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to graduate soon. Like, what?
My life's ahead of me.
Whoa.
There's a lot of time.
There's no more just going to school.
Yeah,
like, what am I going to... So I started talking to my mom about it, where she's been, what she's done, like, what she makes, yada, 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 and... Oddly enough, I was weirdly like, hey, that doesn't sound too bad, And then she was like, well, what do you want to do? If you join, like, what trade would you want to be in? I was like, well, infantier's out,
Yeah. Yeah. No thanks.
That's,
Again, support that.
So I was like, oh, cook can't be that hard, right? Mm-hmm. Cook can't be that... It was hard.
Yeah, I was going to say. Try cooking for like 10,000 people.
Yeah, it was long and hard, and early hours, late nights, and
how long were you in the military for?
I did 7 years and 2 tours. So I did my first tour with HMCS Protector to the Persian Gulf. And then from that, it was funny because, not funny, but I got sent to Afghanistan in a week. Yeah, where there was a lot more training that I probably should have went through, where a lot of the troops that went over there have like 9 months of training and culture training.
And let alone even just like mental time to decide, like to realize that you're going. I mean,
exactly, right? Exactly. So, from the call that do you want to go to, and of course, they called me and they did ask me, and I was like, yeah, that's, that's what I joined the military for, And it was kind of funny because they were like, do you want to go to Kandahar? And I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. And I was like, yeah, that's what I joined the military for. I'll go on a tour. And then I Google it after. I was like,
Kandahar.
This is like,
Kandahar.
Not Canada. Kandahar.
Oh my gosh, shit got real in here real quick.
Shit, wow.
And then I got there, and again, because I was there in a week, they weren't expecting me, they didn't know my file, they didn't know who I was, they didn't fucking, it was a big fuck, it was a huge fuck up, right? And again, it's all with my head at the same time, right? Again, looking around,
I'm in Kandahar, and no one knows who I am.
And then they're like, okay, we kind of sort of found out where you're going, we're going to send you to this unsecure base over there. Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
Everything's doing very good, very safe right now.
Here I am with my fucking rolly suitcase because I came from the Navy.
Wow, that is like an image. I just
right, yeah, and and again, when I got back, they wanted to put me on a bunch of medication, and not even that. It's not even that I really went to. There was no real follow up when I did get back. Mm-hmm. So again, I kind of self-medicated, and ultimately self-medicated too much. Somebody in my building knew, called the MPs. Called down to the chief, it's time to P-test this guy, and, long story short, a few months later, Cody's out of the military. And back being like, well, now what the fuck am I going to do?
I'm like,
that is so upsetting to hear. Because everything about that, first of all, they send you off completely unprepared, then know nothing about your entire time there, then expect you to just come back, integrate into society, don't follow up, don't provide any support, and then say that you can't use cannabis.
How dare you use that plant? And then have the goal to now be involved about this. You know? You're not involved about anything, and now this one thing that like brings me joy and makes me function and makes me feel better and relieves my pain, now you want to comment? Fuck you! Like,
right,
oh my God.
Great, thanks, right?
And after all you've done for them and like, you know.
But I have heard now that they pay for cannabis.
So that was the messed up part, right? I was, fast forward a few years when I'm somewhat, getting on my feet. And again, this small, tiny little whisper. I don't know where I heard it or saw it or something. They were like, Veterans Affairs will cover cannabis. And I was like, what?
Say what?
Pardonnez-moi. Veterans Affairs.
I go searching long and far and hard, and then I find one little sentence that says, we will cover cannabis with a medical prescription. And then sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And they started covering it. So as much as it's a huge piss off, it's
a blessing.
It was
a blessing in disguise, yeah.
And it shows like that you've, sort of been along that journey, as frustrating it is. To see them like develop, now have a much better policy, something that you like had to sort out yourself, which is annoying, but could then make use of and is actually responding to the major medical breakthroughs with cannabis and all of the patient testimonials and research that shows what it can do. Like thank God that you were able to access that in the end.
So what have they done about dismissing you from the army for cannabis use?
It's actually kind of funny because I went back and tried to fight it and said I believe that if I would have gotten the training or the aftercare that I was supposed to get, I would be fine. Mm-hmm. Not fine, but I'd still have my career at least. It might not, blah blah. And they actually came back and they're like, you know what, we think you're right, and we are gonna, they didn't change my release. But they did annotate it medical, so it's still 5F drugs, but annotated medical.
Okay.
Yeah.
A small concession.
A small one, right? Yeah, a small one, but still nonetheless, like...
I am happy they're supplying your medicine, though, now, or paying for your medicine, because that is a big thing, and that is a costly thing, too.
And then, that's how kind of the Wellness Soldier got started. The Wellness Soldier, play on words, the Wellness Soldier, helping vets... I started the website because my mom, she was in the military, and the reason, I think she did close to 30 years, or 30 plus, multiple tours, went to the doctors, to get some help, and 15 to, 20 pills later, can't there was a point that, I couldn't understand her, she was delayed, there's delayed reactions and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, fuck, and she was still kind of in the military. So, she was still opposed to cannabis. And I was like, well, if I can't, try this out with her, how am I supposed to do this? And I was like, well, I'm a chef. It's got to be, healthy eating. So I should, at least try to, this take with food doesn't mean with beer and, mock chicken sandwiches. It means with
nutritious
food. Yes, take with food.
Yeah.
So I started trying to help her in that sense. And then my wife, Kaleena, she's like, you should start a website. Other people probably need this information. Other people probably, and again, I was like, same thing, right? I was like, what the fuck do I know about a webpage? How do I do this?
It turns out it doesn't matter.
Right? How do I do this?
And you're cooking for Wiz Khalifa.
Next thing you know, I go on a YouTube video, kind of watch a, WordPress video on how to do this, somewhat set it up.
That's how we learned.
And then exactly, and then it just kind of overflowed, and then same thing, vets, from starting the website and seeing what I was doing and seeing that I was a cook, that's where it really came out. They're like, well, how do we cook with cannabis? You're a chef, how do we cook with it? How do we... Veterans Affairs is covering, 3 grams a day plus, and nobody knows what to do with it.
Well, it's, really what you're doing is special because so many vets need help from their PTSD.
It's kind of funny, I'm sure just like you guys, you start something, you meet like-minded individuals, you kind of they kind of flock to you. They kind of, you know, one thing leads into another, and then from, you know, me trying to learn how to cannabis cook, because at first I was like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I smoke it. Like, I don't know.
Find out.
But that's exactly it.
Like,
So I started
no
researching it, applying culinary practices to, you know, the art of cooking with cannabis. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, you make a medium, and then you use that medium in a recipe, and then now it's a cannabis-infused recipe. Oh, okay. So from that, it kind of started snowballing. You know, we started doing that, and then Lyft came to us, and they're like, you know, hey, we'd like to, you know, put a recipe on our website. You know, how would you like to put a recipe up there? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yes.
Right? And then my wife, you know, she was always into photography, and she's like, oh, if you put a recipe up, why don't I take a picture of it? So she takes a picture of it. It's like, wow, that looks great. And then we take more, and then more, and then we start writing more recipes. And then, you know, other people come for recipes, and then, you know, we started turning it around into a cookbook, and then the cookbook evolves, and then, you know, and then we started making videos, and then, again, it just starts growing and growing to the point where, like you said, next thing you know, I'm in the garage, you know, getting stoned, and I get an email, you know, a casting call, Bong Appetit, blah, blah. And I was like, this is gotta be, I was like, is this real? I was like, if I click, like, reply or some shit,
I'm
like,
gonna have all my personal information.
go,
Are they
please.
stealing my social insurance number?
Are they studying me that much that they know my weakness?
They know
all my life dreams have come into fruition.
So I was like,
spammers, they're really like, you know, getting good
these
now.
guys are
They like learn your
good.
ex's name and like say, you know, like send you a message, like oh my god, but it was real.
yeah, and it was real, and it was super crazy, and you know, I thought it was like before. It used to be like a documentary type series on people in the cooking with cannabis space, and then they told me it was going to be more of a cannabis cooking competition. So I was like, "Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, this is crazy. This is going to be super fun." And again, I didn't know that it was hosted by B-Real or even Wiz Khalifa was going to be there. I just knew that I was going down about that alone. I was like,
I'm going.
It's and it was funny while I was there. They had their little board out of who was on what show, who the special guest judge was, you know what they were made, or you know what they made or whatever something. And I was looking and I was like, you know, that guest would be kind of cool. Oh, that guest would be kind of cool. That kind of I was like, oh shit. I was like, Wiz Khalifa. I was like, oh, that would be so sweet. I was like, whose day is that? I was like, oh. You crazy what?
Oh my god.
And then to win the main round, that was really cool.
You've already won the lottery.
You have.
We said.
You have.
Like,
And
you were in the same room as a ganja god.
Right,
He was right there. Sorry, that's true.
And like
to
a ganja god.
and like other, you know, other cannabis chefs, and like just, you know, what a place
yeah,
to
the
be.
two other chefs
like,
to be
like,
down
here
there.
I am,
Yeah,
you know,
Leather was
that's-
cool, and Chef Scott, he was really cool to meet too. And then, you know, now, you know, again, you know, now I know these guys, and, you know, again, it's the community. And then it was cool, because then
That's so awesome.
Vancouver, 420, Cypress Hill came. I was backstage. I was actually up on the stage. He comes on, he passes, and I was like, be real, what up? Chef Cody from the Wiz Khalifa episode. He turns around, he's like, oh shit! I was like, ah!
I feel like all of my dreams are coming true.
Like, be real.
Yeah,
just
it's like, that's right. I know, be real.
Yeah, we hang multiple times.
We cool.
You have hung out with them lots of times. Like,
So,
I'm so glad you came. Thank you so much for coming to our show.
No, thank you for having me. This has been a great time.
so fun. And you're Victoria based, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, hopefully
we'll be
see
seeing
you
you.
for other sessions, and
We
we'll,
will.
you know, at Studio 710, all of that stuff.
All that
That'd be
stuff.
awesome.
And don't forget to enjoy responsibly, everybody.
And don't drive high. But smoke weed. And eat weed. And rip this bong. I'm
And
so
have
glad
some
you
of
brought
this
this
crackers
down.
and cheese.
I'm so glad you brought this down.
Real smoky up in here, up in this
I just
beaver.
like a particular.
Look in there. Look at that. Look at us in there. It's just.
We're real Canadians enjoying weed.
We are.
There we are. In a hazy, heavenly cloud 9. We reached it. We
We
reached
reached
cloud
it.
420.
Hey!
No! It took us there. Yay. I'm so not surprised that this is what heaven looks like. I'm like not
This is
surprised
so good.
at all. This is, yeah.
Yep.
Post Malone, is that you? Woo!
One of these days.
$1 billion
it will be.